Welcome. Today we are going to review the Leonardo with a very special Schon Design Monac Nib. Alright, so near as I could tell, Leonardo was started roughly 2017 via someone who'd been in the industry working for Delta since the 80s. So a lot of experience, and now that person has passed away, but his family, he's got, I think, one or two family members that are carrying on the namesake. So this particular one, I don't have a lot of info on. I reached out, I haven't heard back yet. I'll probably find out later and put that in the commentary below. However, this one we can take a look at, and it's more of a cat's eye, tiger eye type thing. And it's actually a little bit translucent on that part, but then when you get into this part, there's like a heavy mica powder. I'm assuming it's mica. You get this really beautiful effect, and it's quite stunning actually. Now let's talk about the clip. So I brought some friends along for the ride. Here is a Pilot 743 custom, and this one has the Falcon nib, but anyway, you can see the clip in comparison here. It's a little bit smaller. Let's look at a Pilot vanishing point. This is the Raiden stripe. So it'd carry about there. Now I want to show you something. This is a 1918 Wall 10-point. So I wanted to show you one of the unique things about the Leonardo pens, which I personally absolutely adore. These little rollerball things, and they are so smooth in and out of the pocket. And this here is to show you that it has been done for at least 100 years, but not many people do it. I don't know if it's because of the extra cost of the machining or patents or what, but this design I love. I've loved it in the 1918 Wall. This was actually a 10-point company from New York that used this design, and then once they bought this company out and they manufactured this one, the original design, for a little bit, and then they stopped. They went to a more static design that didn't have the ball. But Leonardo is, brought this back, and I love this ball, guys. This is awesome. So I cannot say enough about this clip. I absolutely adore it, and I wish other makers would kind of do the same as they've done for over 100 years. Now when we get to the cap, we find it is symmetrically smooth here. So the cap has been milled to match the diameter of the body. So when you cap it, you don't have like an overstep, a stepped cap as it were. It's all nice and smooth, conical all the way up and down the body, and I really do appreciate that. This resin is out of this world. I'm gonna see if I can get you a sunlight sample. Here you see it in the sunlight. See that? There you go on the cap. On the body, it's slightly translucent, but when that catches, it's beautiful. It's like a tiger's eye type thing. Back inside, I want to take a look at the banding here. I do enjoy the engraving and the design. Very nice addition. And this one is not a piston filler, it's a converter, but that extra banding there is appreciated, and the end metal cap there. This one has resin translucent at the top too. This one came for review with a very unique Schon Design Monac Nib. Now this is a titanium nib that encompasses the feed of Ultem. So it's not ebonite, it's not plastic, it is Ultem. So this nib 360 titanium encompasses that Ultem feed. And I want to show you something very important. Here we see a 1950s Schaefer. This model was a snorkel, and you might note some similarities in this design. So we see a 360 encompassing nib here of gold. And again, we see a 360 nib, not gold, titanium, but you get the idea. Very similar architecture. That goes down to the nib grind itself. If you notice on the Schaefer here, it extends outward just a little bit, as does the Monac nib. There's something to that geometry. So, as I was alluding to earlier, there's something about this nib geometry that is exceptionally smooth, and I do think it's an inherent design in the 360 nib, which they've brought back here. And if you look at this, the tip is, this is not a separate tip. This is one continuous titanium nib. And if you look, you can kind of see that flare out at the end. And I really do think that architecture, as I noted on the original 1950s review of the snorkel with the same design, that architecture gives you exceptionally smooth writing. At this point, I have to mention price. This is not a cheap nib to add to a pen. So this nib right here currently goes for $385. Full encompassing titanium nib with your own Ultem feed. And it is very, very smooth. Is it for me? Is it for you? It really is an excellent writer. And I keep coming back to it because it writes so well. However, it lends itself better to a lower angle of writing. And if I'm swapping between multiple pens that might not have that same architecture, it's just kind of one thing about this pen. It doesn't knock the performance of this nib. This nib is fantastic. But every time I come back to it, I do have to kind of reacquire my writing grip. But it is an exceptionally smooth writer, and I do really enjoy it. This nib is definitely unique, and I appreciate what they're doing with their innovation and design. All right, my friends, is it for you? The Leonardo, I love this body. I love this body. I love the feel. It's well placed in hand. The balance is right about 50%. I love how the cap is integrated seamlessly. There's no step up, no step down from the cap. I love this banding here. It's smooth, it's inlaid, and I absolutely adore this clip. So the Leonardo design, grade A. I can absolutely recommend this design. I love it. The Monac Nib. This I really do enjoy, but I think it is unique, and I think you should try one before you buy one at that price point. You should try and hit one at a pen show or from a friend if you have a pen friend, because it's very unique and I really do like it, and it is very smooth. And even though I keep going, oh, I'm not the biggest fan, I keep coming back to it. Since I've been having it lately in the last couple of weeks, I just keep coming back to it. So it grows on you, it really does, but it's a unique feel. It's a little bit lower of a writing angle. If you're not accustomed to that, you might not enjoy it, especially coming from ballpoints where, you know, you're very much at a higher angle. However, this is an exceptionally smooth writing pen. It's not as soft as many gold nibs that I've used, I will say that. So when writing, it is very smooth, but it is not as soft and bouncy as some other gold nibs. And at that price point, that is something to be considered. That's why I say try before you buy if you can. I've heard from some people that this is their preferred go-to one. This is their nib of choice, and this is it for them. So those are my thoughts on the Leonardo designed pen body and my thoughts on the Schon Monac Nib design. It is very cool, and I do think you should experience one of these. It is absolutely phenomenally different, unique, and smooth in a way that many pens aren't, or many nibs could not be. But it is a little bit of a difference in your writing style. So it's a very cool thing that they are innovating and bringing new things slash old things to the market, because as we noted, this one being from the 50s, this is a design theory that's been done before, and I think it worked really well. I really like this design. It's exceptionally smooth. So let me know in the comments, have you used a Monac Nib? Have you tried this for yourself? What did you think? And the Leonardo, does anybody else have one of these in their collection? Do you want to chime in? Do you enjoy this clip as much as I do? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Stick with the channel. We'll get you more content soon. And this has been Zen of the Pen, bringing you a little more daily pen and hopefully a little bit more daily Zen. Take care.